go there. When I was a kid, I didn't see allergies in animals. And the more I thought about it, all my dogs didn't have allergies. I didn't know neighbors, dogs or cats that didn't have allergies. And I'm going to assume there were allergies. But I also believe that over the years, dogs and cats became more and more allergic to everything. My world, where I come from, I know about stormwater management control. I know about what's happening with farm. When did the government stop pesticides? I think it was 10 years ago? It was about 10 years ago. Not allowed to use it anymore. Yep. We should have done it years ago because this really affected our lakes, our ponds. Pesticides were responsible for so much damage.
But they still put them out for bees though, don't they, Mike?
I'm sure it's more friendly, and I'm sure you could still buy things for plum trees. And, because we want to keep the bugs off them, but they're supposedly more gentle. Was this a possible problem over the years of using, and this is just one of them, was it a possible problem that from my dog rolling in the grass, from pesticides to farmers' fertilizer and stormwater management? That means when it rains, that water runs towards my property, down towards other properties, and this happens everywhere, all the way down to Lake Ontario, Lake Erie, all the Great Lakes around here. Is that possibly part of the problem? What do you think?
Well, I think, yeah, definitely. I mean, in dogs, when they have digestive problems, they do go and eat grass too at those times.
Drink pond water, drink rainwater.
And eat grass, to help their digestive system. But back to the allergies, I think it's a combination of both environmental and food. Mike, if I, gave you chicken every single day from the day you were born.
Am I growing feathers?
Well, eventually you're gonna get an allergy towards it.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, it's going to happen. I mean, it happens with dogs. So by rotating their diet is probably the most important thing to avoid that allergy. So the foods that we carry at Global Pet Foods, you can rotate from chicken to lamb to pork, and by rotating their diet, it will help alleviate and not get the allergies that most pets can get.
So you suggest, do you tell all your stores that to tell, someone like Doug to say to the pet owners out there, you should rotate your different dry foods? How about wet foods, canned food?
Same thing. Keep rotating, and by you have to have it has to be a food that has a guaranteed analysis that is identical to each protein that you can rotate. That's why a lot of grocery brands you can't rotate, and if you do rotate the protein sources, the dogs could get diarrhea. So
we've seen that.
Yes. So we have a lot of rotational diets in our family of stores that you can do that.
See, that's logical to me, but when we think about my dog Charlie, Anna had to stick to a certain food until she could figure out what food it was that was affecting my dog. Now, I mean, the hard thing about this was watching him go through it. She did that. She did, I think, a raw fish diet.
Probably. Yep.
That was suggested by you also?
Yep, for sure. I would
okay,
have made that.
And then she went on to something else, and I know she kept bringing, Charlie in to see you.
I guess the big problem is that there is no, contrary to what people will tell you, there is no definitive test for a food allergen. I wish there was, but there have been studies where they will take saliva swabs from dogs' mouths or blood samples, and they will send, so this is the way they do it, they will send it to 4 different allergy labs, and they will get 4, not completely different, but the one will say stay away from chicken, the one will stay away from beef, but chicken's okay. And it's really hard. And the other thing that they've done is they've sent swabs, just water on a swab to these labs, and they'll come back with hits, that they're allergic to. And so the only way to figure it out and then go from there, as you say, is to sort of restrict to one, figure out what you need to avoid, and then rotate around.
Okay, I mean that's good advice.
Yeah, but if you're sticking to one protein source, but then you throw them, let's say a biscuit with corn in it, or you throw them, another piece of protein or leftover, then it's like having a peanut allergy.
Now
you have to start all over again, right? Because it'll just react.
Now
just
that
like
you say that, Anna would buy Charlie the little biscuits for his teeth, clean his teeth.
We talked about it.
So he had to stop that.
It's always the guilt. It's always like, well, have you been giving him anything else? well, I bought these treats. They're organic and natural. I'm like, well, did you look at the ingredients? Do they have chicken in them or something like that? And sure enough, chicken, corn, something like that.
So it could be simple as corn.